If it wasn't for York, I wouldn't be standing here. It's the professors, it's your classmates, and then you combine that with the environment of other people doing different things. It's that whole complicated mix of things that come together that end up making you the person you are.
Nigel Lockyer lives and breathes particle physics, one of the world's preeminent experimental particle physicists. His York Bachelor of Science degree laid the foundation for a remarkable 30-plus year career that has seen him move from national prominence as director of Triumph, Canada's national laboratory in nuclear and particle physics, to international acclaim as the director of world-renowned Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory.
You find something that you enjoy, you stick to it, and you work really hard at it. And working hard isn't really quite the right way to describe it, because if you like something, it doesn't feel like work. I would say the interactions with the science, obviously, is the most enjoyable thing for me, and interacting with the scientists. It's a worldwide endeavor. You're interacting with interesting people from all over the world. Just imagine how exciting it is to do something that requires that level of investment, and it's focused on answering a question which you personally find exciting. I would say my measurement of the B Quark lifetime is the most significant scientific thing I did. You can see the progression of the field in the last 20, 25 years has been significant. I feel like I'm part of that. Professors are incredibly important in terms of directions that students take. It's not about learning the material, because you can stay up late and read the material. It's those interactions when you can see another person is genuinely excited and driven by what they're doing. I got that out of Bill Friskin. He just seemed to enjoy physics so much. And I thought, well, maybe this is for me. Everything in this day and age revolves around science and technology. And so, when I went to York, it was well known for its work in space, and obviously it was connected to particle physics and continues to do that today. So they're the right directions to be going in. I think that the university is growing in the right areas. My job is to develop the strategic direction that the laboratory goes, and then try and motivate the people in the laboratory to agree with you. It's quite invigorating. My passion is physics, so I'm always connected to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2014 Bryden Award for Pinnacle Achievement, Dr. Nigel Lockyer.
I want to start by saying I did receive the memo that as last speaker I'll keep to my 3 minutes. I thought everyone got that message, but apparently it was only me. Okay. So I'd like to congratulate my fellow recipients. I enjoyed listening to what they had to say tonight. That's the first I've seen it. I guess we've all saw it for the first time tonight, though I thought that was, I chose my words well. I was pleased with that. That was good. So, all right, so I'd like to thank York University for a wonderful award. I'd like to thank, physicists are short and sweet. Table 6, yay, table 6. I can say a couple of names. I could say thank you to Shampa Bhadra. I'd like to thank Wendy Taylor. And Bill Friskin is here tonight. You saw him in the movie. He's the movie. I thank the Academy. So Bill was a huge factor in my career. So when I graduated from York, I had a permanent position at the Ontario government, and I was not working in science. And so throughout the summer, there was a conversation taking place with Bill and him saying to me, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" And by the end of the summer, I'd applied to graduate school, and then the rest is the story. So the great thing about my York education, which I look back on, is the fact that it allows me to do what you saw in the picture. My day revolves around doing and talking about things which I know you all go home at night and worry about, like the mass of the neutrino is disturbingly small, and I hope you've all sorted that out a little bit. All right, so a few recollections of my time at York. So the first one is, as you might expect, a physics student. I stayed very late, working hard. But in fact, I was in the parking lot trying to get my car started most nights. But it looked good when I got home. Second thing was, for those of you who took physics, was the annoying graduate students who were teaching the undergraduates. They would torture you in your lab every week. And my lab, for whatever reason, was Friday afternoons. And it was 4 hours. And I had a social life. And so I was ready to leave, and the graduate student would say, "It's okay if we stay a couple hours longer this evening." So that was not a positive thing. But on the more positive side, I came back to York many years later, and at the invitation of Lorna Marsden, and I remember she picked me up at the airport. I could not believe the president of the university picked me up at the airport, and I said to myself, there's no way I want to be the president of a university if this is what they do. Mamdu, Okay. All right, so I spent a little bit of time pondering what it takes to be a great university. York University is young on the scale of things. I was at the University of Pennsylvania for 20-odd years, 1740, so hundreds of years old university, started by Ben Franklin. So York is a young university. And I think in this day and age of competitive science, international science, you really have to have the best faculty. The number one thing is the people at the university. The best faculty have to have access to the best postdocs, and they have to have access to the best graduate students. And that happens if you've invested in your infrastructure as well. And so there's almost a very simple formula. Best people plus infrastructure equals an environment that is vital and flourishing and allows you to compete on that international stage. So Mamdu mentioned to me the press that the physics department, physics and astronomy, physics. I'm a physicist, and we always have to remember the astronomy half, but they're not really physicists. They're now I'm in trouble. The dean of science, here's an astronomer, but okay. So, forget what I was going to say. Okay, so in the press, the last couple of days, international press, there was a couple of new particles discovered. So this is the buzz out there in my community. And interestingly, the two scientists that predicted this, one is from York and one is from my former laboratory, Triumph. And so, that's a big deal if your name appears in the newspaper, and physicists in general don't like to see that. So I'll just mention Randy Lewis's name so he can be embarrassed, but he... and I'm sure you all knew he had predicted that mass correctly a number of years ago. All right, so my comments is that it's a competitive business. Science is competitive. York is in the mix now. I think it's establishing itself, and to become a great university, science is going to be the new frontier. Engineering building going up. I saw it when I came here. It looks great, but we got to keep pushing on the engineering front and the science front. So. Thank you for a great award, and I kept within my time limits, too.